think everybody gets anxious. If I have to take a test right now, I will be anxious. I think it's just a normal thing. I don't think it's reasonable to expect that you're not going to be nervous at all, right? Everybody gets nervous. It's a very survival sort of thing. So like when our bodies like realize or our minds realize like this testing is like it can actually feel like a survival fight or flight sort of response, right? It's like if you're in a forest and you're being like chased by a lion, in this case, the test is like it can feel like the scary thing that you want to avoid it, right? I've had this, like procrastination thoughts is like, I don't want to study, I'm afraid of the test. I don't want to study. I don't even want to start. That's a very normal thing to have. Like, you're not the only one if you have felt like that. There are strategies to overcome them. We're going to talk about it, but it's a natural physical response. I think it helps us to know that it is a completely natural physical response to have negative thoughts, to have like hard time focusing on reading the question. Sometimes you're so nervous during the test that you're misreading the question, right? Or like sometimes people get frozen that normally you can solve the problem, but because you're like nervous and anxious, like you can't actually not solve the problem. Like the brain is just like frozen, kind of like a mouse that's being attacked by a lion. Like it doesn't even know like how to run away. It's just kind of like playing dead. That's the physical response. So I think the more that we understand it, that is not your fault. That is not like there's something wrong with you. It's just everybody has it, and there are ways that we can deal with it. You might feel sweating, might feel trembling. Everybody has like a spectrum of like how severe it is. It can be very severe. It could be just a little bit, so you want to keep it under control. A little bit of stress is actually good, right? If you're a little bit stressed, you can actually activate like a stronger sense of like problem solving, so a little bit of nervousness is actually not bad. You can actually think of it as just being excited, right? Like you want to show what you know, and it's like the whole year's work is like coming to a culmination that you can actually like show off, right? So it's actually an opportunity. So if we think of it, if we have that attitude of like trying not to be scared, just like being a little bit tense is okay. Having some tension, having some excitement or nervousness like is completely normal and okay. And if we embrace that rather than just like, because sometimes you're like, I don't want to be nervous, I don't want to be nervous, and then you try to suppress it. The more you try to suppress it, the worse it gets, right? So let's go to the next one. 1 week before the test. So right now I'd say like maybe a week and I don't know, is it 2 weeks before the test? I think it's, so let's say, we have 1 week before the test. Some of the tests might be the second week, so maybe you have a little bit more time, 2 weeks. Positive self-talk is really important. So I know sometimes like we hear whether it's like negative talk like from our friends, it could be from our teachers, it could be from our parents, whatever it is, like, oh, you can't do this, or that kind of stuff. We have to try to tune out as much as possible because it's not helpful. Okay. One of the skills, right? Remember the cash, right? One of the skills that we can learn is positive self-talk, is actually internally telling yourself that you can do it, right? So I can do what's necessary on this to do well on this test. I have the time, right? Sometimes I have no more time. I have only 1 week. Well, if you keep saying that, that doesn't help anybody. Okay. So you can actually say to yourself, I have enough time. I will be able to prepare, right? Just repeating that mantra is really helpful. I know that if I work hard, I can do well. Like those are positive self-talk that we can use 1 week before the test, right? Because those are the kind of attitudes that we can like incorporate into our own mind that actually motivates us to study and to not procrastinate. Hi, I'm Jennifer Zhao. an independent education consultant based in Portland, Oregon. Did you like this short video? For more tips about combating test anxiety, especially for AP tests, check out the description below for how to access my AP Test Strategies workshop. I have a 1-hour video workshop that includes a game plan for the week before, the day of the test, and after the test, as well as lots of great resources like how to improve memory, positive self-talk examples, and much more. Thank you so much for watching. Hit like and subscribe for more info on getting the most out of the college application process.